We're live again.
Hey, everybody out there. Hopefully we'll have a better chance at it with Jericho's phone.
All right, now I gotta shut Bluetooth off.
No, we don't know why yours does that sometimes and does.
I don't.
Does other times.
I'll try it again. I'll.
It's in my other backpack
That's
because
all right.
I had to work on Thursday and I never switched it back over.
All right, Deb for Freedom, we are back. Woohoo! Hey, Docs and Grandma. Yes, we are live.
It's charging. But
Okay.
I got 1%.
Yeah.
Or 4 to
We've
5.
been scrambling around,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not.
and we need to
doesn't
pray.
fit tight. And I apologize. I should have brought that other.
What do you guys want to pray?
Yep.
Yeah, let's pray.
Right.
Microphone.
Test how loud that is.
Test, 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 test.
They can probably hear that pretty good. That's good.
All right.
You want to pray, Tina?
Sure. Yeah. Father, we just come to you tonight very grateful for this place where we're able to broadcast from tonight, Lord. Father, we thank you for the beauty of your creation. Father, you are the creator. You hold everything in your hands, even the lives of every J6er who is in or out of prison right now, Lord, who is being held at some level and some degree unlawfully and unconstitutionally, Lord. Father, we just ask that you will continue to move on their behalf. Father, I declare over each one of them that no weapon formed against them will prosper.
Yes.
And Father, all who accuse them in judgment, they will rise up and condemn. This is their vengeance. The Lord has spoken that. And this is their inheritance, Father. So we just declare your word over them today, Lord. And as we declare it, Father, you do it. And we thank you, Lord. We just ask that the broadcast be anointed tonight, Lord, and meet the needs of those who are listening and just minister to their hearts, Father, in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. You do the pledge?
Pledge.
Okay. Where's this a good spot? Yeah.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Right.
Amen. All right. Now I'm going to see if this continues to charge, if I picked it up. It looks like it is. I just am not going to be able to walk around.
Looks good, Steve.
Okay, when you
Oh, that's
prayed,
perfect.
it wasn't very loud in here, but then when you said the pledge, so you really gotta watch
Yeah,
the distance
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I got to hold it closer to my face.
You say that's a
And
new
when you're
microphone?
on the phone too.
Is that a
Yep.
new mic?
It's one of the two that are in the box.
Oh, I didn't know we didn't even know we had two.
I didn't either.
Well,
till-
I forgot it one day, so I had to run up and buy one.
Oh.
I brought everything but the microphone.
How expensive are they?
Like $15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I can't see the
All
chat
right,
on
so
your phone.
we're on right now, right?
We are
Okay.
live.
Here's how you see the chat.
Oh, I'll monitor it on my phone.
Okay, it disappears. You just go like this.
Oh.
So while the guys are kind of messing with that still, first J6er who's
Then it'll
on
disappear
schedule to
again.
call in tonight is Justin Jersey. His home state is Flint, Michigan. He has started a new Gifts and Go site, or what do we call it? Gifts and Go fundraiser. To date, he's only raised $280, and his address is J6 Jersey at Gifts and Go. So let's kind of support him, guys. He and his girlfriend have 2 special needs children, I believe, and so they just really need the financial support.
How do you guys like our lovely new undisclosed location?
Thank you, Deb, for Freedom. She's in there as our moderator
yeah.
today.
Oh,
Thanks for
good,
helping
good.
out, Deb.
Yep. Glad to have you, Deb.
Hi, McFly. Hi, Ava. Justin is gonna call, right?
He's
Yeah.
stated for 7.
We have him
Yep.
scheduled. We'll see what happens, Ava. Yeah, this is rural Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's got so many beautiful spots like
It
this.
really does. Yeah.
There was a couple of little parks that I saw on the way in.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if we could put out a challenge that if anybody wanted us to come and do the vigil at their little park, we could put an invite out. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah. I would imagine this call is going to come in through Lewisburg. That's what usually pops up on my phone.
So you know what I learned about this is that they monitor all their calls.
Well, yeah. We
So
knew
every
that.
call that comes out of a prison is a three-way call. And that's why it's routing through Lewisburg, and that's why they're routing through.
Even though they don't say anything, it's still considered a 3-way call.
Well, technically, a three-way call is when somebody else is listening in on the call. And since they're monitored, they're all three-way calls already.
Yeah, they are.
And if a lawyer or somebody else is listening in on it, then it's a four-way call technically. So they're just playing games.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
I think there's Tom.
The motorcycles left. I didn't even hear them go.
That's funny. We didn't hear them go unless they put it in silent
No.
mode.
We heard them come in.
Maybe they went out in electric mode.
I don't see any plugins over there.
No, you think that's Tom?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another charger and just keep it in my car. One that though you can like an electrical plug-in.
Is your phone still charging?
Yeah, it's charging. It's up to 6.
Good. Yeah, that little box is handy because
Yeah.
it'll do anything. It'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it says connect charger.
Yes, Ava, it is a big difference
not
between here and
staying in
DC,
there.
is it? Or isn't it?
Lord, please help cause this to work. This isn't staying in here.
Yeah, try not to twist it. I don't think that's good. Let me see it.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not
there's
connecting.
something. This is not-
All right.
Don't twist it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Pull it out and push it back in. I don't know if it hurt it or not, but
All right.
it's strange.
Do we have something that I could set my phone up a little bit so that I could lay the mic here and not right on the charger?
That's too thick, right?
No. Nope, I don't think so.
You can use that hat.
Here, just set it right there. So that I can
Yeah,
put the
that's a
phone
good
like
idea.
this. And then I don't have to touch the phone.
And if you talk loud, they'll still hear your part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to hold it up to your. You got to hold it
gotta
up so
hold it
we
up?
hear you. So Deb for Freedom's got some good information here on Justin. Justin is sentenced to 57 months
Yeah.
with almost 2 years, December, already served.
Yep, he has
His restitution is
$33,000,
$33,000.
Oh, that's terrible.
he
His home state is from Flint, Michigan.
yep.
Has a very supportive girlfriend, and they have special needs children.
Yep. I was going to see if maybe he'd like to talk about them tonight.
And financial support is greatly needed. All right, this is the long haul that us patriots outside are being called to stand up and do. DC is not going to unravel itself in a week, and these guys are in jail still. Their families are in dire need, and that's where we got to come in. If we can help them out, we've got to do that, and you all are. Of course, letters are very, very important for their morale. Thanks, Ava. Yeah, things just got a little weird last week with the phone systems at the prisons, and we weren't able to line up calls.
Hopefully he will call. He's a little bit late, but we
Yeah.
never know what can happen with those
Right.
guys.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just 4 minutes, and we have a block of time behind him that it's
Yeah,
open.
we're
So
good. We're good.
we've got some flexibility here.
How's the charge on your phone, Jared?
Oh no, it was good. It was good.
So you should be good for the night. But
Hey, Turbo.
the problem with I have is when you're streaming, you can't see the charge.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Trooper scratched our heads on that for a long
Yeah.
time. Tina, could you talk a little bit without the microphone on for a second?
Sure. What do you want me to say?
Just say, recite something cool or.
Gettysburg address.
Oh, I don't know that, but you know what? I've been feeling like I want to share that sometime, just to share it. You know.
Can you guys
Like,
hear Tina?
It's
okay.
one of our declarations that have been said over the country, and
yeah.
we're kind of in a place where people are really being encouraged to speak our founding fathers' documents out loud.
Amen.
And I do have one I want to share tonight, and I was going to do that after we talked to Justin.
How is that sound with her voice without the microphone? If we're just talking here, should we just skip the whole microphone thing?
You'll still need the mic for the phone.
Yeah.
What I can do is when the call comes in, I can sit down. That puts my face closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Do you want to try that?
They're saying you don't need the mic
They're
for
saying
your
I don't
voice.
need the mic
We're
for-
verifying that.
Okay.
Yeah, when there isn't a phone call, they're saying that the chat.
That I'm talking loud enough that I don't need the mic.
Yeah, the microphone adjusts to ambient sound, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So one's way louder than the other. The one drowns out the other one. So we'll play with that that dial behind there.
Okay.
Because you could keep doing this, but that gets frustrating.
We're getting company.
Right.
Okay.
What's up, Patriot?
Hey, there he is.
This is our Virginia guy.
Good to see you. Yeah. Hey, Tom Jeffries.
I met you down at the
Yes,
courthouse,
indeed.
one time.
That's right.
No, it was for Nichols
Rock up, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome. What you doing in this neck of the woods?
My folks live about half hour away.
Where?
Where?
Sugar Valley.
Are you kidding? No way.
Yeah.
This is Tina.
Hey, Tina, how are you?
Yes, I live in Montoursville.
All right, I'm Tom. Nice
Yeah,
to meet
hi.
you.
Yes, nice to meet you. Welcome.
Yeah,
Good
what
to
a
have
great
you here.
spot you found
All
here.
right.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It really is.
Patriots are just rolling in now.
It's probably hard to find, right? But it's worth it.
It wasn't that bad.
Good.
I mean,
Good.
I drove past the Sunoco. You said turn before, but I drove past it.
Either way,
Right.
we'll bring you. To,
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Yeah. No, we
But
got
we gotta watch our disclosure on where we are.
yeah.
So we're live now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we just don't want to.
Uh, We're waiting for the first call to come in. He's
All right.
he's a little bit late, but you know how that goes sometimes.
So we were at Northern Neck Jail last night. Nobody called, and because they've been messing with the phones down in DC.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
why don't we have?
Yeah, can you
why don't we
fill
have
us in?
Tom
Yeah,
take
why
the mic
don't
and
you
talk
go
to
ahead
the-
here
Would you mind?
till Justin calls in.
Not at all.
Yeah, these patriots out
You've
there
got- you've got-
may know who you are, but some of
you've
them
got hot
probably don't.
news.
So maybe if you want to introduce
Yeah.
yourself and
Well, what I would like to do is make sure I have the information that I need to put out there, so we're gonna
Okay.
pull that up.
All right, we got a visiting patriot of Northern Neck fame. We met Tom Jeffries down in Northern Neck, Virginia, at the regional jail there. There was, I don't know, 25 J6ers in there at the time, and we were getting horrendous reports of
Yeah.
their food situation, their medical situation, their
Sanitation.
visitation rights,
Sanitation.
sanitation in there, people getting beat up,
For no
and
reason.
there's a patriot group there called the Northern Neck Patriots, and they were on the ball already before we even got there. And then we helped spread their message out a little wider, and they have been on the board meetings for that prison now, and got a lot of this corrected. And the Bureau of Prisons decided to move most of those guys out of there,
They
didn't
did.
they?
There's not any J6ers in Northern Neck anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have to go after Laredo.
Jeffrey Brown was the last one. He was moved out in March.
Yeah.
He was there for several weeks by himself. Poor fella, you know,
Yeah, right.
wondering when am I going to get out of here? But
Right.
yeah, absolutely right. So last night we were at the Northern Neck Regional Jail. We've been holding vigils there every Friday night since October. Tammy was the one who really initiated that originally when from DC they were having their vigils since August 1st. Yeah.
Right.
And that big anniversary coming up.
Yeah, it is a big
gonna talk
anniversary
about
coming
that.
up.
So anyway, she helped us to set that up, and I've got a list here. I'm up to 53 people that I know of that have been through the Northern Neck Regional Jail at this point in time.
Wow.
But Friday night, last night, we weren't able to get any calls because the DC jail has been messing with, we believe, they've been messing with the phone system.
Okay.
Sure seems that way.
So you got a call coming?
No, it's
No,
coming on my
no.
phone.
Oh, okay. So what we did, we put out, the Northern Neck Patriots put out an action item for folks to call down to the jail and complain or respectfully ask for them to do something about it.
Yes.
So the service provider that handles the tablets and the phone systems is GTL, and the phone number to call at the jail is 202-790-6601. They're real friendly. They answer the phone. They've been getting a lot of calls about this,
That's awesome.
but they need
Good for you
more.
guys.
So 202-790-6601, and let them know that the calls drop, the calls don't get connected, or when they do get connected, sometimes they are they're just very scratchy and hard to hear. So, yeah.
Wow. We are making a difference, guys. It may not seem like it, but we are.
Amen. Amen.
That's right.
You got some
And
greetings
if this is an example of what can
Good for
happen
freedom.
in a jail where
She's
there
our
are
monitor.
no J6ers, what can we do in jails where there are? We have five inmates at Loretto in Western Pennsylvania, and we did receive an email letter yesterday from one of the guys, and I don't know if that's something I am going to share. I don't know if we have permission to share it, but he put it out there, and it went to us. I have it on my phone up. I don't know. I may not be able to bring it up, but I think so. We'll talk about it, see if we think that's something we should share. But I remember one thing in the email was that they haven't had any fresh fruit for 2 months,
Oh, moly.
and the treatment out there is not good.
At Loretto.
I mean, yeah, Loretto.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. I think it's probably some of the worst that we've heard about lately. Seems like they had cleaned up some of the places, but there's one certain officer out there that is really trying to make it difficult. And unfortunately, I don't have any numbers that we can call out there. But maybe by next week we can get those numbers and we can start calling out there and let them know that, you know, these guys, they're humans. They're human beings. They need to be treated as such.
There's a certain thing called human rights.
That's right.
The whole world recognizes human rights.
It's written on our hearts, really,
It
from
is.
God.
It's God-given rights.
Yeah.
So do you know who all's there in Laredo?
I can bring it up on my phone. Yep.
Rubenacher.
Greg Rubenacher was the one who
Was one of
sent the
them.
Rubenacher.
Jeffrey
Jeffrey Sills is there.
Yeah.
Robert Moores is going there, but he's still in Philly, as of the last time I checked the list.
Probably next week, Robert will move.
Next week.
Yeah.
Who else is out there? I just looked at the list this afternoon.
There's like 5 guys there, right?
Yep, there's 5 guys. Robert will make 6.
That's why we write stuff down.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why we, yeah, you're right.
It's
We
hard to
write stuff
remember
down. Yeah.
all this stuff. Doesn't get easier
So-
as we get older. So I'm suggesting we go out there sooner or later.
To Loretto?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we have to
Yeah,
do
we're
that.
going.
That's a plan.
We're going. It's just
Right.
when.
Yeah, after Robert gets there,
That's
obviously.
right. Yep. And let him get settled. It'll probably be 2 or 3 weeks. He'll have to process in or whatever they have to do.
Right.
I go
And,
out there
I'm
almost.
thinking maybe the end of August.
I would agree with that.
End of August.
I'll be heading. I go out to Altoona most months for a Saturday training. So next time I go out there, which may be August, I'll stop in and check out that VFW and just scope it out a little bit. 'Cause that,
In Petersburg.
yeah,
Yeah.
we want to stream from there because Robert Morse painted a huge mural there, patriotic
He did
mural
10
years
panels.
ago.
I remember that. Where was
It's
It's in
Petersburg.
Petersburg,
It's a
Pennsylvania.
VFW.
So I can't find Petersburg in my atlas.
Oh,
It
it's
must be
very,
a
it's very
really
small.
It's probably pretty
town.
small.
Pretty
Yeah.
small. Yes, it is.
I looked it
It's,
up on my
um,
maps. There isn't even a
it's
Petersburg,
out-
Pennsylvania.
It
It's
comes up
out-
on.
I think it's out between State College and Phillipsburg, isn't it?
Well, I don't know where Phillipsburg is, but I did find it on Google Maps.
Did you?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. It's not real far from Altoona, and then
Yeah.
and then Loretto's on the other side of Altoona.
Right. Yep.
so-
Loretto's on the other side.
I could make
Yep.
a whole week out of that. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of cool stuff.
Oh
There
yeah.
are. And
Around
there's
Altoona, there's a state park up
there's
there.
and there's a war memorial out there right off of 45, where 45 and 322 come in. Yeah, it's a big park. And I'm maybe that's where the mural is, but I don't think that's Petersburg. So I think it's another VFW that you painted that at.
Right.
Well, it looks like maybe Justin's not going to be able to call.
I like how you have an agenda set up here. Good job.
Thank you.
I wish.
This does not. I did not generate this.
Well, as long as somebody's working on it. Can I
yeah.
give a plug for the Sentinel?
Go
while we're
right
here?
ahead.
do.
There you
Yes.
go.
So, it'll pick me up if I
Yes,
walk
it
up
should.
there.
Yep.
So Northern Neck Sentinel is a monthly paper that comes out in Northern Neck. It gets distributed to, okay, I will.
Oh.
It gets distributed all around the Northern Neck, which is basically 4 counties, plus some other surrounding counties, and then also online. So www.nnsentinel.com. John, who's the editor, always puts an article in here about the Patriots, usually about the J6 Patriots, usually top dead center of the edition. So he's got 2 in here this time, talking about J6, and it's a fascinating bit of real down home, conservative, honest reporting. So I highly recommend it. I've got
Wow.
extra
How
copies for
refreshing.
you all.
What a novel
Oh great.
idea.
Yeah, I have not seen that before. Although I think
No,
I've
I
heard
haven't
of it.
either.
Thank
That's
you.
great of a newspaper.
Thank you. Yeah,
Is that
that's
something
great.
they send out, or do they just put it out and people just grab it?
We have certain locations that we are allowed, and it's listed in there that we're allowed to distribute them. We used to distribute. There's a grocery chain down there called Food Line,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
and someone complained, a liberal complained
Of course
that
they did.
they thought this was the views expressed in the paper were not worthy of general public, and Food Line Corporate jerked them, even though they put other kinds of free publications out.
No fooling.
Yeah, so
They buckled.
yeah, they sure did.
Yep.
But yeah, I'd say go online and get it. It comes out about the first week of the month.
Right.
So
Yeah, I read articles in there when we were up there visiting. And then we got to meet all you guys too. You got a great patriot group that how long have this Northern Neck Patriots been together?
well, we just had our 2-year anniversary, July 2nd, I think it was our 2-year anniversary.
And you were engaged with that prison before we got there, right? I mean,
Yes,
you had
indeed.
already found out that there was things going on in there before we got there.
We did. We actually attended a board meeting in, I would say it was February or March of 2021, when we heard that these January 6ers are being housed there.
Yeah.
And some of our members went in and basically said, we just want you to know, we know they're here and we're going to be keeping an eye on it, and we
Right.
hope you're treating them fairly.
Right.
About 2 months later, a group of us, I believe it was 4 of us, went in and had a 3-hour tour of the facility. Hour and a half speaking with the superintendent, who
Actually,
gave us the whole rundown of his philosophy on corrections and so on. It was very interesting.
It's amazing they were willing to do that for you guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Did they give you a the tourism tour?
We had an hour and a half of a tour, so we got to see a lot of the areas. Did we get to see everywhere? No, I don't think so. But it was very clean. It was certainly ready for our
Oh, yeah,
our
yeah, they-
tour.
Or for your visit,
They,
yeah.
they had the
Dave.
guys clean everything up before you got there.
Yeah. So
And then they have monthly meetings now also, right? That
yes, we go to every one of their monthly board meetings, and we always someone stands up and speaks about certain issues that we've heard about, asks questions about what they're doing about it. Medical treatment,
Yeah.
the food, obviously, the sanitation, all those things.
and they did an article with Robert Morse a while back. is
Somebody
what
just
I'm
mentioned that
reading.
in the chat.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's what we need everywhere. I mean, every
Yeah.
every local area should have some type of patriot group.
I didn't know that the public could go into prison board meetings,
Well, it's interesting because at the
but
very
then they're not federal.
they're not.
They're county.
They're
That's
they're
different.
a regional jail
A
made up
regional.
of representing 4 counties.
Yeah.
At the first meeting, the chairman of the board says, "Well, we've got members of the public here. What can we do for you? This is not
We
usual."
saw
Oh,
the
like it was
J6ers. How about
unusual.
us? That's with a start for a start.
Right.
Sheesh.
Ugh.
Our town is getting ready to build a new prison, and they want a lot of money for
I remember
it.
you saying that in D.C.
Yeah, and they haven't even started shoveling dirt yet at all. And already there's problems with it, and a weird little hookup with the police lodge, the Fraternal Order of Police cabin or something that was in this weird, a whole bunch of stuff came out with facts on that just kind of got into the news and went away with nobody paying any attention to it.
Okay, good. You don't have to touch it.
But I'm busy with this right now, you know.
Yeah.
So it's where do you jump in? You just got to jump in somewhere.
You got to stand up and speak out. That's
Amen.
exactly
Right.
Amen.
Tina just got elected school board.
Well, I'm on the ballot. I got
you're on
through
the
the
ballot.
primary. I'm on the ballot with 4 other conservatives from Montoursville School District. And we're all very confident that we will all win in November. We had 2 policies this summer that have been changed, read and voted on and passed. The one had to do with teaching of CRT or no teaching of CRT in our school district, and that passed. And so now teachers will not be allowed to even marry the information into their courses that they're teaching. That passed last week. That was worked on, that policy was worked on in June. And then last week also they had a policy meeting and they worked on another policy that had to do with pornography and obscenity in the libraries and as reading requirements for courses of study. And that was reworked. And actually what they did was they took the federal law and the state law and just made that the policy, which was just really awesome. And so then I had actually gotten up and I was gonna talk about the federal law and how the Supreme Court had ruled that this is not covered by free speech under the First Amendment, and so that was all there, and they talked about that, and then they went to the state level and they sort of took all my speech from that. So then I just got up and said that I appreciate that you guys are working on this, that you brought out the federal and state laws for this situation and this concern. And I said, and I know there are a lot of people who are talking about banning books, and I said, we're not banning books. So we are complying with federal law to remove anything that is outside of the law. None of this is protected by free speech in the First Amendment. And that passed unanimously out of committee, and that'll be read and voted on in August. And I'm pretty sure that's going to get passed too. So we have 2 policies that the 4 of us that are going to be new going on in December. thought we were going to have to fight for, and it's already there. So groundwork is already laid for us. We're going to go in. I won't say that. We're going to go in blazing.
You're going in strong. You're going in a good position.
Yes,
Amen.
yes,
Amen.
and we're just really excited. That'll give us five votes on the board for conservatives. There is a conservative on the board. He tends to kind of sit on the fence a little bit, but I think with 5 of us strong conservatives, I think he'll side conservatively. And so just about anything that we want to do, I think from a conservative standpoint, we're going to be able to get past and just really restore our school district, you know, protect our kids and cause them to know that they're in a school that teaches fundamentals and teaches true history, and they're going to get a good workable education.
So you're saying there's a federal framework for this and a state level
Yes,
framework for
Pennsylvania
this?
has their own framework.
It's the same as the federal state framework?
It's not quite the same, but it follows the federal guidelines. But the Supreme Court ruled that obscenity and pornography that falls under the category and definition of being harmful to minors, and there's a whole specific list of stuff.
Yeah.
None of that is protected under the First Amendment.
Okay.
And so
as it should be.
As it should be.
Right.
So if you go into your library in your schools and you find a book that is very sexually explicit, and they're finding books like this all over, take it out, just like you would take a book out of any library. Take it to your school board meeting and start reading it to them, and tell them that you want that book taken out of your library and is not covered under the First Amendment.
Can a grown-up go into a high school
Yes, they
library
can.
and
Yep,
do
they
that?
can. Yep,
They can?
yep,
Okay.
yep.
I didn't know that. I could just walk into a high school library.
Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe I should call them first, right?
No, you just walk in.
You got to get permission to go into school first.
Yeah,
Most
you
of them
do.
are locked.
Yeah,
you know,
you're gonna be stopped at the door, and they're gonna want to know what your name. And you have to sign in, and you got a visitor sticker or whatever, and then you can just tell them that you need to go in and get a book out of the library.
I'll have to check that at my own school. But
Yep.
yeah, we'll do
I've
that.
been
Yep.
seeing horror stories on this. What
Oh, yeah,
books they're
and-
finding in these
Yeah,
school
and
libraries.
some
Pitiful.
parents are taking these books to the school board meetings, and they start reading them, and the school
Yeah.
it really is, and the school board members really have nothing to say about that.
It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene holding up the posters that she had of Hunter Biden
Yeah.
engaging in some unsavory acts and being told that that's not appropriate for
Yeah,
them.
right.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
okay
exactly.
for children to see this
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that the parents are, I don't know if I'd be that bold to stand up in the meeting and start reading out of these books some of the stuff that's written in these books.
I'd be
It's just-
ashamed to say that.
It's
Oh, yeah,
horrible.
it's
It's
vulgar.
horrible.
It's
It's just
vulgar.
horrible. I wouldn't. I don't know that I'd be able to do it. It's just horrible.
Well, there's a video from a lady named Phoenicia Redmond reading it in front of the Pennsylvania State Senate last year. Doug Mastriano was there. He's the one who arranged the hearing, but they asked her to stop.
Yeah.
You know, it was F word every other word.
Yep.
And but the chairman of the Senate got it. He said, "Please stop, ma'am. We
Yeah.
get the idea."
Get it.
We
Yeah.
get the message.
Yeah.
But it's just like an oxymoron. You know, you can't take it into the school board meeting and read it in front of adults, but it's okay to have it in your library for your kids. You know,
So
you
somewhere
can't
along
have
the
it.
line,
You can't have it both ways. You know.
somewhere along the line, there was an adult that felt it was necessary to put that book into a kid's library.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not only
That's
the
who we're
libraries,
fighting
but
against.
a lot of
Those people.
teachers, and it's not all of them, but there are some who are using CRT and infiltrating it into the course of study that they're teaching. And it's not like you have math and English and reading and then you go to CRT class. It's like it's married into
To
and
everything.
comes in under the radar in art classes, in history classes, in social studies classes, in, you know, you name it, they slide it in underneath. And a lot of it is just pointed questions like, why do you think you're white, not black? To the kids. So they go home and they say, my teacher asked me this today. Well, what'd she mean? Well, I don't know, she just asked me this. And what the teachers are saying, well, we just want them to think, you know?
It sounds like they're just wanting to divide.
Divide, conquer, and indoctrinate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a divisionary
Yep.
tactic all the way.
Yep.
I heard a story last night from the Northern Neck, recent observation from someone. Second graders had the fire chief come in to talk about fire safety and just to get the kids
Yep.
used to someone wearing uniform and what they do in their role and so on. And
Okay. This should be Jeremy Brown.
Hold that thought though, Tom.
I will.
Yeah, hold
That's
that.
okay.
I want to hear that one.
Individual at Citrus County, Florida.
Yep.
This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be
Jeremy
monitored.
Brown.
If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number
Jeremy
as a
Brown
private
calling in
number.
from
To
Florida,
accept
everybody.
This free call, press
Deb's on top of it.
this free call, press 2. If you would like, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hello.
Hey, Jeremy, it's
Hey,
Tina.
Jeremy Brown.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Patriot.
I'm doing as well as can be expected. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Loud
yeah,
and
I have
clear.
to remember that there's like a 3-second lag time, so. So what's up with you? What's going on in Florida?
Well, you know, just hanging out here in jail until, you know, the American people figure out that they're having the wool pulled over their eyes, which is taking a little bit longer than I would like. But at least, you know, a lot of other things are being exposed, which is a start.
Yep.
But I think it certainly goes to show that those that are in positions of power in our country are not just corrupt, but are just flat out evil liars. You know, now the question is, what are we going to do about it as a nation of people that have been lied to, and how far do the lies go? These are all the questions that everybody should be asking. And so, you know, 2 years ago, when I first started telling everybody that January 6th was a complete fake operation being executed on, I could understand why people would think that that's crazy, but certainly that should be much easier to believe now after all we know and all we're seeing on a daily basis.
Yeah. I have a question. I don't know if it's one you can answer. If not, that's okay. I'm curious to know why your sentence was handed out by Florida and not the DOJ.
Yeah, certainly. And there's no question that I won't answer. I do not ascribe to the legal theory of allow the prosecutors to say everything they want to say while you remain silent and they destroy you in public. That's obviously a theory that was established, you know, to favor them. But the reason why I was sentenced in Florida is this is the way they worked it. Okay, they had an arrest warrant issued out of the District of Columbia. They went to a separate judge just a few moments later and had them sign a domestic terrorism search warrant for my property, or my girlfriend's property, that was 1,000 miles away from D.C., under a bunch of different charges that actually I was never even brought against me, and that judge signed that warrant. So basically, they said, "Yeah, we're going to arrest this guy for trespassing, but Your Honor, we also believe that he's a domestic terrorist and he's guilty of all these other charges, and that's why we need a search warrant for his property." So when they came to arrest me they didn't call and say, hey, Mr. Brown, we have an arrest warrant for 2 counts of misdemeanors. No big deal. Just come down, turn yourself in, we'll book you and release you on bond. No. What they did is they conducted an FBI SWAT raid on our property with the real intent of executing that search warrant. And of course, the reason they executed that search warrant is because they knew that they were going to find something according to their probable cause, and what they thought they were going to find were explosives, and magically that's exactly what they found. So because those charges originated out of the Middle District of Florida, that is why I was held on trial for those charges, because what they basically said was, oh, well, this is now a separate case of things, illegal things that we just happened to find during a search warrant, even though their entire story and narrative to get the search warrant was all about January 6th. They claimed that these explosives were part of January 6th. And of course, my claim is that I have nothing to do with those explosives. I don't know where they came from. I believe that they were planted, and which is why in all their probable cause documents and everything, they never mentioned that they were grenades. They claimed to have an individual who knew that those explosives were in my RV, even though that individual's never even been in my RV, and he never says that they're grenades. He uses a term that only a government official would use, which is explosive, not a civilian. If they saw grenades, they would say the word grenades. They wouldn't say explosives. So basically it was a complete setup job, and so what the purpose was to be able to charge me with crimes, to keep me in jail, and sentence me to a long prison sentence, while at the same time being able to claim that it had nothing to do with January 6th. And that's what they've managed to do. So none of those charges or none of that verdict was run in any of the national newspapers as an oath keeper found with explosives. No, it was kept quiet as if it was a totally different thing. And it wasn't until sentencing that then the government came out and was like, oh, yeah, this was all part of January 6th. Because, see, in sentencing, there's no rules. Nobody pays attention to what's said at sentencing. But they never made that case during the action. They told the judge that this case had nothing to do with January 6th, and that's why I shouldn't be allowed to play the recording of federal agents attempting to recruit me before January 6th was ever thought up.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you feel that this is repercussions because you refuse to be recruited?
Well, I don't think it's because I refuse to be recruited. I believe it's because I took that recording of me being recruited and then began to tell the American people that they attempted to recruit me, that a recruitment occurred before there ever was a January 6th rally announced. Yeah. And yet in the recording they mentioned something happening in January. And so that's why they came. And even that isn't why they came. See, they thought they could just ignore it. They thought they could just ignore me and that I would just be some guy that nobody paid any attention to. And so they didn't even come after me when I first went public with the recording. It took until actual other journalists started to then say, hey, this is what we found, and oh, by the way, there's another case of this Jeremy Brown guy who kind of goes along with this exact same scenario. Once that level of attention got shined on my case, that's when, and you can see it in all the documentation, that's when the FBI fabricated a case to come after me. That's why they only came with a misdemeanor arrest warrant, but with this fake fraudulent search warrant. And the search warrant is ultimately going to be thrown out because it is deficient in every way. But that's what happened. They came after me because I wasn't Ray Epps. I didn't do a good job at hiding in the shadows and keeping my mouth shut. I attempted to expose what I knew, utilizing my experience and my background, as well as the recording, and they don't like that. They don't like when you expose their criminal activities.
Yeah. We have a question from somebody on the chat. They want to know when your live Rumble show is broadcast. They have forgotten when you do that.
Yeah, so we usually go live around 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now I usually only call in Monday through Thursday, and we're not professionals, so sometimes we don't have a broadcast. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Sometimes my co-host has to actually pay the mortgage, but we try to get on there as often as possible in order to try to get the word out about what is going on. I mean, I have a very long career and experience in these types of things, and it's very hard for people to wrap their mind around the level of conspiracy that is constantly going on. But look, I've been saying this for years, and now everyone's like, oh my gosh, can you believe that our president is compromised by the Chinese? Can you believe that the FBI was part of it? Can you believe that the DOJ was part of it? Can you believe, all of this stuff that is now common knowledge is stuff that just even 2 years ago people just didn't want to believe could happen. And I'm here to tell you that it happens every day.
So you're the only J6er down there right now, aren't you, in Citrus?
That I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know of anyone else that's there anywhere else in the jail. So they're are they doing right by you? Are they treating you okay?
Yeah, the facility here. Most of the employees here are, understanding. They know about the case. They don't know all the details. Obviously, I've been much more shielded in this facility because we're in 2-man cells, and so there's not a lot of interaction with the guards and everything. But I've had interviews here. I probably get more attorney visits than anyone else in the entire facility. I spent about 3 or 4 hours reviewing videos in the law library today. And again, this is another aspect of the case that continues to go. That is the British high of that will wait everybody. The government narrative goes. I just watch hours worth of video to. Clearly, if I were to use government narrative, that January 6th was a violent insurrection where law enforcement was harmed by these radical, whatever name you want to call them, and then showed them the video that I looked at today, no one would believe anything that I just said because most of it wasn't violent. Most of it was actually the violence was initiated by the police. I just watched a video today of protesters being allowed into the Capitol. See, these are the things that the government doesn't want you to see, and that's why they have me under a protective order so that I can't release this video to you without then having to fight a Sixth Amendment battle to the Supreme Court because protective orders are unconstitutional. But this is exactly what they do. They hide, they lie, they cover up, they make threats so that the American people can't actually see the truth.
Right, yeah. And, so many of you guys have not been allowed to even use the videos as part of their discovery. They aren't released. They don't have access to them, and so that's not, to me, that's not even considered a fair trial. They don't have all their evidence. They can't present all their evidence.
Well, right, and I think that's one of the faults of many of these defendants is that they are too reliant on their legal representation. The reality is that it is your name on the document. It says the United States versus Jeremy Brown. It does not say the United States versus blah, 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 Esquire, or any of that other stuff. And so if these defendants just simply put their hands into their lives into the hands of these defense attorneys, well, then they're going to end up getting screwed because these defense attorneys go to the same law schools that the prosecutors did. In fact, many of them are former prosecutors.
Yeah.
Smoke cigars with each other, really horrible jokes. They're not there to actually fight the system, which is what we need, because it is the system that is being turned against us. And so any defense attorney that allowed their defendant to face a judge and a jury in D.C. without the revelation of these videos, well, then they should be sued for ineffective counsel, because the videos exist. There's absolutely no reason why these attorneys shouldn't be able to make the case. I mean, hell, the prosecutor was using videos of President Trump's speech that was spliced all to pieces as their video evidence. So then how then can the video evidence of the individual sitting in the defendant's seat not be able to be used? It's completely ridiculous. But we just got the 1 minute. I can certainly call back if you've got more time or more questions.
Well, we do have some time open. Can you call back about 8? Is that okay? Can we have him call back?
Yeah, we have another question, but we'll wait for that.
Okay, there's another question coming in from the chat. You want to do
get
that?
cut off. So do you want me to call back?
Yeah,
Or
why
can
don't you call back about 8?
Securus. Goodbye.
Yeah, call back.
Okay,
Goodbye, that's it.
goodbye.
Yep.
Okay.
Period for you.
So what's the question? Is he aware of James being acquitted of all charges?
Yeah, and I
James
asked,
who?
that's what I asked. There was the original question.
Who's he talking about?
You know it. Who's the
James
you're
the
talking
Broadway
about?
singer. Who's that?
I don't
Does
know.
anybody out there know? You know it. Who are you talking about? You know it, Liberty.
Yeah.
We're not familiar with that case. At least I'm not.
James the Broadway singer?
I know one person has been acquitted
Really?
of J6, but only one. I don't remember who that was.
And I don't know about that either, you know
But
it.
we can ask him when he calls back.
And was that recently or?
It wasn't recently,
a
the one
while
I'm
ago?
aware of. And I
Okay.
don't know the guy's name. It was months ago. Which James is?
We don't,
that
we
we
don't
know
have a
of.
last name.
There's James Grant, but that's
McGrew.
No, Grant's in Lewisburg.
Yeah, there's James Grant, James McGrew.
Grew's in Allenwood.
doesn't ring a bell with you, does it, Tom?
Just gotta
I'll look at my list here.
Okay.
So while we're trying to figure out
Between phone
who
calls.
James is who was acquitted, do I need the mic? I don't, do I?
No.
Not
just
if you
put it
talk
down.
loud. Not if you
Okay.
talk loud.
One of the things I wanted to share is a story that came out of World War II, and I think it has relevance for today. And the story was reported by a survivor of this town in Germany. Went to this church, I guess, as a young man, and but the story goes that this church was right along the railroad track in this town, and every Sunday morning the train would go through on a regular basis, and this went for years. And then after Hitler took over and started rounding up Jews and shipping them off to concentration camps, the train was still traveling through the town every Sunday morning, but the congregation realized that the train was full of Jews, and they knew they were taking them to a concentration camp near where the church was. I'm not sure what the distance, but they knew that there was something there. And this person who relates this story says that they could hear the screams of the people in the cattle cars on the train going by the church. And the way they dealt with it was they decided that they would have a time of singing while the train went through. They could hear the whistle coming, hear the whistle blow, and they knew the train was coming, they would start singing. And they sang loud enough and continued to sing louder and louder and louder until they drowned out all the screams of the people in the cattle cars. The person that relates the story says even today he can still hear the whistle blow of the train in his sleep and hear the people screaming. And it's just an example of a group of people who knew what was going on, knew that what was going on wasn't right, and they didn't do anything. And I believe this is relevant for today, especially with the J6 situation. We have, I'm not sure how many are still in prison. I think it's about 75 or 100, but they arrested initially about 900, 950. So there are various levels of detainment going on. Some are on house arrest and various levels of house arrest. Some are on their own recognizance, but their travel is significantly restricted. And then the rest of them are still in prison. Some haven't even been granted a bond hearing, and it's 2.5 years later after they were arrested and put in prison. We have to do something about this. We have to call our senators. We have to call the wardens and call the DOJ and start telling them that this is enough. We've had enough of this. This is all unconstitutional. And we need to really make our voices heard. And I know writing letters is good, and the guys really need that. They need to know that we're out here for them and we're standing behind them and we're standing with them. But I think we can do more for them in situations where they just can't. They can't call their own senators. They can't call the wardens. They can't call the DOJ and judges and prosecutors and let them know that what's going on isn't right. And so we need to pick that up, and we need to do that. And I think if enough of us start doing that, what happened in Northern Neck was effective. We made all kinds of phone calls. And eventually they transferred all the J6ers out because they didn't like all the attention they were getting. So now the vigils at Northern Neck are continuing to support the regular, if you want to say regular inmates that are in there, so that they continue to receive humane treatment. A little bit ago we were talking about this, and you know, God gave us the rights that we are fighting for right now. They're the rights He's given us for freedom, for being able to live in a free country, and we need to start standing up. We need to start fighting for these guys and really put rubber to the road, because we don't want to down the road have history look back on us and say we did nothing when we knew something needed to be done.
Bravo.
Amen.
Well said.
Amen.
I don't want to be in that group of people either.
We don't
Me
want
neither.
we don't want our grandchildren to ask us, what
No.
did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to say we didn't leave everything on the table. There was something we could have done that we didn't do.
That was a lot what I got when I read Bonhoeffer. We were talking about Bonhoeffer that
Bonhoeffer,
weekend,
yeah.
and I just felt like, wow,
Yeah.
they just knew they should do something
Yeah,
for
and they just didn't.
years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And until they finally actually did it, it was too late.
It was too late.
The
And
damage had been done.
Yeah, Bonhoeffer actually studied in America for a while before the war, like in the late 1920s. And that's where he came into his relationship with the Lord and realized that freedom was God-given, not government-given or government taken away. And he went back to Germany and really did sort of a one-man stand and fought for the rights of the German people. And Hitler didn't like him. The military didn't like him, and they did imprison him, and they killed him. He was in a concentration camp. They killed him about 6 months before the war ended, right?
About 2
before the
weeks.
war ended.
2 weeks? Okay.
Something
I
like
didn't
it was
realize it
close.
was that close.
It was close.
I
Yeah,
thought it was close, but not that
right at
close.
the end.
They didn't want him to be liberated, so
Yes,
that,
yep. And because they knew if he got out, he would continue to talk and I think, tell what they did.
And they never did have a successful attempt to take Hitler
No,
out.
no.
So
and,
they
that-
were,
and he was part of the one of the hit teams.
yeah, they had to contemplate actually taking out Hitler.
Yeah,
That was the
yep.
the place where they were at.
Yep.
And each of them got certain access to Hitler's office and
Yep.
whatnot. But there he is, a minister. He's talking about killing somebody. So I mean,
I think and it's controversial, but I think he thought. I don't know what his mind was, but that, I mean, killing Hitler would save thousands of other lives.
that's a great
Yeah,
philosophical question.
right.
Isn't
It
you
is.
know?
It is.
And if he really felt that that was something God had called him to do, to be part of that team, to take out evil and
Yeah,
remove
yeah,
evil
yeah.
from the earth, you know, he had to be obedient to what he felt God was calling him to do, and what God wanted him to do. And you know, he answers to God for that. And if that was what God wanted him to do, or was calling him to do, you know, he had to step up and do it, just
Would
like all of
God
us.
call you to do that?
Yeah.
Though? That's the thing. Would
You know, and-
God say, "You go get this guy"? You know,
Well,
I don't know that he would.
I mean, we face that same question even today. Maybe not with killing someone, but like my church, for example, basically doesn't want us to be involved in politics. I can't go that route, so I disagree with our
Yeah.
elders on that one. I disagree with them big time. But there's other churches that do, you know, make a stand.
And it's quicksand.
Yeah, it is. It is. But we have to do what our conscience tells us
Yeah,
to do before
yeah.
God.
Yep.
I thought about that on the drive up here. How,
Yeah.
how do we get our churches more involved in this issue? Do you have thoughts around that, Roy?
What we're going, I mean, there's about a third of our church, it's a small church, are patriots. We're awake to what's going on, and we're concerned. And what we're going to try to do, I know they won't let us use the church building, but we're going to just, without going in and causing division, we don't want to go around and get people talking about the elders behind their back, but we want to just start having like a monthly meeting in our homes, in one of the Patriots' homes, and invite the other members, whoever wants to come, and talk about it, but show like the final war, the Epoch Times final war with China, show some of the stuff about transhumanism that's coming up. Just get people thinking along those lines. And I think small groups are a good way to do that, of people you know, people you trust. So we're planning to do that hopefully soon, hopefully within the next couple months. And if we're meeting in private homes, and we're not going to say anything negative about anybody else in the church, you know,
Right.
that's not our place.
It's
Yeah.
a different thing than
Yeah.
church.
Right.
Yep.
This is a
It's an educational,
Citizen.
informational gathering.
Because we know that certain, like especially some of the elderly folks in our church, some of them are really concerned, but they have no idea what to do,
Yeah.
and they don't want to talk about it in church. They feel they shouldn't. So,
Right.
but that's every church, every group of people is different.
Yeah.
But may God give us wisdom as to what we can do to help make other people aware in the right way. You know.
I think that's got to happen a million times in this country. Ben Franklin had a group of 12 people that he met with.
Yeah.
I think he
Amen.
called it the junta, and each family would host a dinner once a month.
Oh, I didn't
There
know
were
that. That's
12
really cool.
prominent families wherever he was living, and they would determine where they were going to gather up some money to help any type of a low-down individual, or to start up a fire company, or civil projects, basically, before there was any structure to have civil projects completed. So I think, like Northern Neck Patriots, man, I respect you guys for that. I'm jealous that you have that, and I don't have something like that of my own.
Well, I worry that we're not reaching enough people. I mean, we've got a lot of really, really activated patriots that are there and fighting, but I feel like we need to be exponentially reaching out to more and more people. And I think what you were talking about is the awareness part of it. Everything that we talk about at these vigils are things that people need to know about.
Right.
Yeah. Amen.
What I was starting to tell you earlier about the fire chief coming to the local school,
Oh, yeah.
second graders, and he finishes his conversation or his talk and says, does anybody have any questions? A little boy raises his hand and asks a question about, you know, what do they wear at some question, just general question. He answers it, And then another little kid, a little girl, raises her hand. He calls on her, but she turns to the little boy and says, "You're supposed to ask him what his gender preferences are. You're not supposed to call him a him because you don't know that."
Whoa.
Wow.
So
What was his response?
I don't know any more than that. That was really about as much as we heard. But if that's the level of indoctrination that they're getting as second graders at this point,
First and kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's a
It
total
goes all the way down.
reprogramming, man,
It
right
is
there.
at second grade.
And that's what the transgender philosophy ideal is. It's unbelievable. It's not true. It's not science. It's not anything. It's anti-God.
It is.
It's calling God a liar, basically.
Yep.
So is climate change. Climate change is calling God a liar. He says he's going to keep this going.
That's right.
And that's, if anything, that's one thing in common with everything. The multi-front war that we're in right now. J6 is one thing out of
Yes.
20.
It's part
Right
of
now.
it's part of the whole pie.
It is, but it really illustrates the ability of the government to shut down a whole segment of the population and make everybody the
If
rest
we
of
allow
us.
the government to become as evil as they are.
Right.
You know? I mean, there's a whole group of people that rally against abortion, you know? But they're not hanging out at J6 rallies. We're not going to, I don't know, we've been divided up into all these
An
different
incarcerated individual at
factions.
Citrus County, Florida. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number. To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse this, thank you for using
I think you gotta turn the mic on.
You may start the conversation now.
All right, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah.
Hi.
Lima Charlie.
Hi. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. At the end of your call, your other call, we had a lot of echoes and interference, and I don't know whether there was stuff that you were saying that somebody didn't like, but yeah, it's like a lot
They don't
of
like
echoes and
anything I
yelling.
say.
What?
So they don't like anything I say.
Okay then. Well, the question that we were
It's
gonna
like I tell people.
go
It's like
ahead.
I tell people all the time when they say, "Hey, I don't want you to say anything that'll get you in trouble." I just tell people, "Well, I only speak the truth, and the Department of Justice has never used the truth in a court of law, so I have nothing to worry about."
Yeah, and if you're getting in trouble for speaking the truth, then there's no problem with that.
That's a great philosophy.
Hello.
So you had a question? Yes.
Yes. Somebody on chat wanted to know if you're aware that of the J6er James Beeks, who was acquitted of all of his charges.
Yeah. Yes, I am aware of that. In fact, that was one of my topics of research today.
Oh yeah.
Which James Beeks is a very interesting character because he approached our group. In fact, I was the guy that he came to that day, right as we were getting ready to move from the ellipse to the Capitol to escort our speaker. And he walked up and, basically I kind of asked him who he was. He said he was an oath keeper, but he certainly wasn't dressed like an oath keeper. And in fact, I have on my tablet a photograph of him, and he was in all black. And so, I just assumed that he was legit, and he walked with us. But an interesting thing happened. So he actually went in the Capitol with all the other oath keepers. Of course, I stayed outside, and I don't know many that know that story, but the bottom line was that they wanted to go in and see what was going on and make sure there wasn't any problems. I told them that they shouldn't go. They went against my recommendations, and so me and a few other oath keepers stayed outside. But James Beeks was one of the ones that went in. In fact, the photograph I have is of him and Kelly Meggs and Stuart Rhodes and all the rest of the oath keepers standing outside. So on the video, you clearly see that he's part of the stack. But a funny thing happens that once he gets into the Capitol, he leaves them completely. and then not seen again. In fact, you can see the video of the Oath Keepers meandering around the rotunda. Then they exit. They actually help law enforcement. You can see them having casual conversations with law enforcement. And then law enforcement basically ceding the authority to wave everybody out of the Capitol to the Oath Keepers. All of this is on video. All of this is on closed circuit Capitol security surveillance video. But James Beeks is nowhere to be found once they go inside the Capitol. So I thought it was very interesting that Judge Mehta, the very judge that's overseeing my 2 counts of misdemeanor yet to be set for trial, acquitted him as if he wasn't involved at all. Which, don't get me wrong, he should be acquitted. Everybody should be acquitted.
Yes,
but I think it's interesting that just this single individual that was not part of the Oath Keeper group until the very last minute and who broke away from them completely. I have not yet found where he went, but once inside the Capitol, he totally leaves those guys, and as far as I know, was never seen with them again. So it's a very interesting circumstance, especially when looking through the search, the staff of his case file. He was living in a hotel months later. He's supposedly a Broadway actor. Doesn't really fit. Your standard profile for the radical right-wing extremists that the government tells us that everybody was on that day.
Well, maybe this was.
So more to follow on Mr. Beeks. I have some people looking into the situation as well.
Yeah. Maybe this was a role that he was playing as a what do you call it when they come in and they try out for a role. Maybe it's something he was doing like that to get a role in some kind of play.
Well, it is very odd, right? So he was arrested in a Hyatt Regency, which is a pretty nice hotel.
Yeah.
And yet in the search warrant photographs, his boots from January 6th are still in his single suitcase months after the fact with supposedly mud, and he still had his shield that he had on January 6th. I think his arrest date was, I think the search warrant photographs were in November of 2021. So there's some odd things. I don't know anything yet. I just know that I'm definitely looking into it because it is awfully suspicious. And they attempted to put me, him, and a bunch of other Oath Keepers all in the same courtroom on the same case and put us in front of the same jury, and we were able to prevent that. So that's why I kind of took a special interest in Mr. Beeks, because I didn't know who he was. And then I find out that I do know who he was. He's the guy that came up to me on that day. But, of course, he was wearing a mask, and so I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And, I don't just see a black guy and be like, oh, well, that must be the black guy, right? Because I'm not a racist like your typical Democrat is. And so I'm just now putting a lot of the things that involve Mr. Beeks together, and I'm definitely looking into it, which is usually not a good thing to have a 20-year Green Beret with an extensive background in covert and clandestine operations, so looking into your background.
Yes.
So I have a special set of skills that I've acquired over the years.
Yeah. So keep us posted. See what you find out.
This is what I will tell you. They do not know. They do not know what I'm looking for, and I'm finding all kinds of things. Let me give you a perfect example. There are certain ways that you would mark yourself to identify you as part of, say, a group of agent provocateurs, right? Yeah. I have identified individuals with these types of markings. These types of same techniques and procedures are used by special operations. They were used during the Orange Revolution in the Ukraine, which is, funny enough, orange is one of these clandestine marker patterns that I am finding in some of these videos. I just read an article not long ago that said in another defendant's case, it was revealed that there were Ukrainian intelligence agents in the crowd, as well as all of these FBI confidential human source people. And one of the things that the government is definitely trying to prevent me from having access to are additional documentation, additional video, additional photographs. Half of the videos and photographs that I do have possession of, I can't open because there's some kind of weird file profile or whatever. So the bottom line is that they're hiding things, and it's one thing to hide it from the average American citizen who doesn't have a background in this type of stuff. It's a totally different set of problems to try to hide it from somebody like me who has plenty of time on his hands that can slow the video down real slow, because I'll just come back again next week.
Yeah. Well, you keep looking.
Well, and we should all be looking,
Yes,
right?
we should,
I mean,
yep.
we
Amen.
should be demanding of our public officials for transparency. We should be asking them, why are they hiding these things, right? We should be asking the Department of Justice that if secret encrypted text messages are enough to convict oath keepers of attempting to overthrow the government, why are they not good enough to convict the president and his son for treason and bribery, because they're the exact same platforms being used, and yet they are attempting to cover up crimes that these so-called text messages are apparently revealing. And so there are a lot of different evil shenanigans going on, and we as a people have to demand truth and transparency in our government, because they work for us, not the other way around.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, amen. Well said.
Do you have a Patriot group down there helping them?
Yeah. Do you have a Patriot group down there helping you?
I mean, I have an ever-growing group of supporters that are helping out with their podcast. They helped out during my Florida State House of Representatives run. We've had. I know that they've had a flag wave near the jail here. We had multiple rallies when I was in Pinellas. So yeah, I mean, with every passing day that goes by, more and more people are coming to realize that something's not quite right here. And still a line from, I think it was I Love Lucy, right? They've got a lot of splaining to do.
Wow. Yep.
Well,
So anything else that you'd like to share? I think you have a couple minutes yet.
Well, what do we need? What does he think?
yeah, well, I mean,
Jeremy,
yeah.
Steve wants to know, what is it that you think we need? You want to ask the question?
Yeah, Jeremy, I know other people that have stashes of evidence, video evidence, but we need like computer people, or who do we need to put this all together? Who do we need to recruit right now to take this down the path a little more?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we need discerning eyes. We need to have, guys with backgrounds similar to mine, law enforcement backgrounds, special operations backgrounds, that can know what they're looking at. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to a reporter who was looking deep into the whole mythical QRF, overthrow the government scenario. The reality is the QRF that was stationed in Virginia was a 65-year-old man guarding weapons that were left legally because it was illegal to have them in D.C. And this is the problem that the government has, is they're constantly trying to take these measures that were done to follow the law and turn them into some kind of criminal act. But this reporter was looking into that whole situation. And you notice there hasn't been much talk about that very recently, because I guess they figured that the idea was completely absurd, so they stopped talking about it. But he sent me some photographs, and he said, hey, I had these photographs sent to me by somebody, and they look suspicious to me. What do you see? And it was basically a bunch of military-age white males. I think there was a couple of Hispanic guys. But this is one thing that most of your special operations guys will tell you. You can pick out military guys very easily, because as hard as they try to look like civilians, they look nothing like civilians. And so when you have a whole group of them standing around with their hands in their pockets, they all look exactly the same. And that's what this photograph was of. It was about, 5 or 10 guys all wearing military-style boots and weren't in any uniform. But like I said, they're not good at looking like civilians, so they kind of were in a uniform. I would describe it as the military guy trying to look like a civilian uniform. And so they've all got their pocket knives in the same places. They're all wearing the same style boots. They're all wearing the same similar style jackets and this and that. But they're in civilian clothes, and they're just standing nearby the Capitol. And he said, this photograph sent me and said the time frame was right around the time of the original breach. And so the question would be, who are these guys, right? I mean, if they're not law enforcement, unless they would be up there in the frantic melee that we're all told is happening, right? No, they're just kind of it's like they're staged, waiting for something. And so little things like that. I mean, there's thousands of photographs. There's hundreds of hours of video, and to have people that have an eye and know what they're looking for, look at these videos, that's really what we need to do. So, I mean, if you've got a law enforcement buddy or a military buddy and you got your hands on some of this video, have them take a look at it and start asking questions. And you should be looking from the perspective of, we know that they're lying. They've proven it to us time and time again. And so with that perspective, how do these things look? And you'll be surprised at what you might find.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any.
All right, so we're going to be getting cut off here.
What?
But thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. We're about to get cut off. And, we just got to keep looking for the truth. And then once we find it, we need to hold them accountable to giving us some answers.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
That was very eye-opening.
Jeremy Brown.
Yeah,
Jeremy Brown.
Very helpful.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need more patriots to stand up with a law enforcement background.
And the military. I mean, he's the ideal guy.
That's what we're looking for here.
So if
Spin
anybody
around.
on the chat knows anybody who fits this description that Jeremy Brown just gave us, retired military, retired ops guys, retired law enforcement, who have some degree of training when they look at videos, they know what they're looking for, they know what looks out of place, and see what they can find, give them questions that we want answered, and tell them to have at it.
We need something to organize all that too.
Yeah.
We got our work cut out for us.
See, and I wouldn't know where to begin with that.
Me neither. That's just such a pretty view. Well, we got nothing to talk about. Let's look at that.
Do you have any updates from Washington, Steve?
Yeah, I got lots of updates.
Well, why don't you put some out there while we're waiting for our next call, because we have about 10 minutes here.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, I was in DC.
Yeah, tell us. Give us an update.
All right, I went to DC for a couple of days, hung out on Freedom Corner for 3 nights, and the crowds are gathering there. I mean, we had almost 19 or 20 people there last night, and we're getting ready to have their 1-year anniversary on August 1st. That will be a 365-day-long protest there. Mickey and Nicole are on fire. They were attending hearings for the weaponization of the DOJ hearings that they're having right now, which, by the way, is getting 0 airtime on mainstream media. 0 airtime on this. And they are sitting in the back row. They're visible on C-SPAN, and they know they are rattling cages down there. These people know who they are. They know that's Ashley Babbitt's mother. They know that's Tommy Tatum, who was in the human pile with Roseanne Boyland. They know who these people are. And we're just applying that much more pressure on our representatives during these hearings for that. I don't bank on anything coming to these hearings because this is the same thing that happens over and over and over. They just talk and talk and talk, and nothing ever gets accomplished. No charges are pressed, no nothing. In the meantime, Trump's under more charges now. So when's this going to end? When does this end? Some of the, let's see, updates. Well, I got a new YouTube channel. I started streaming this week, and that seemed to go well. That's on 00 Jericho on YouTube. So you could see what's going on in DC when I'm up there. And let's see, there was a family that was there whose son just got arrested it was either March or May.
Oh yeah? Who's that?
He's in the DC gulag right now.
Hmm.
His mother and father came. His son was there, who's like a 12 or 13-year-old kid. And they hung out at Freedom Corner with us for 2 days. They got to visit him on Friday. We had multiple visits going on. We were working a visitation system. Friday is the day that you can visit with the J6ers. They have visitation. Many of them don't live in that area and have no family there. So this is a huge, just personal thing, that human contact. You need to have human contact.
Yeah.
And that's one of the means in which they torture them down there with it, is, you know, throwing them in solitary confinement. So the visitation thing is going gangbusters. That's an awesome thing. The letter writing is going great. I have talked to so many people in the chats about all the letters that they're writing. Tina and Roy, I know you guys have been doing that too. I can't describe how awesome that is and how uplifting that is to the prisoners every time I have heard them mention that on the phone to us. I don't know that they'll all write you back or anything, but it's hugely uplifting. We got a word on Riley June Williams finally, and she's hurting right now, and she needs letters, and somehow or another she has flown under our radar. I don't know why. I mentioned her a bunch of times months and months ago, and she never even got on the roll call list that they do down there of all the currently incarcerated J6ers, but we got her on the list. We got a phone call from her in DC, and she needs letters. She needs letters. The guards in that prison are doing humiliation tactics on her, stripping her naked, sitting her in her cell all by herself for 23.5 hours a day. She's under psychological warfare attack in the prison right now. She got sentenced to, I believe, 4 years. And she was one of the people that went into Pelosi's office, and then they thought she stole the laptop, but they never did prove that she stole anything from out of there. And she got caught up in the hoopla. She was there in a skirt, in leggings. She had a big fuzzy zebra purse Looks like an insurrectionist to me, right?
She's there by herself, isn't she?
Yes.
I think
She's the
so.
only
Yes,
one
she
there.
has no other people that are
Yep.
with her. And I don't know if she's in Alexandria or not. So
It's
look
in
on
West Virginia.
Direct to J6. We have links to the addresses and stuff to write to the prisoners there. There's other websites out there. There's lots and lots of resources there.
Direct2j6.com.
Direct2j6.com.
And that gives
Well, here, I wanted to, that's a pretty background.
You,
over
you,
here.
oh, yeah.
where how far over do I have
Now
to
you're
go?
good.
Right there?
Probably step back just a little bit.
Right there?
There you go.
There
That's
you go.
better.
Sure. The website, I guess it's called a website, isn't it? Is direct2j6.com, capital D, capital J. You go on there, you can have 3 or 4 different choices. One is to watch the vigil. There's another link to get addresses to write to individual prisoners. There's another link that you can deposit money straight into their commissary. And then there's another link just as a contact to contact the site, I guess.
Right.
You all can tell I'm really tech savvy. But anyway, it's a really very simple, easy to navigate through site. And my understanding is that when you use this site to deposit money into the commissary, the guys get every single penny. There's no
That's right.
charge for sending it through, like it is with Western Union or some of the other avenues. There is like a surcharge to transfer the money. You can transfer everything. You don't. The guys get every penny that you're putting in there. So that's another advantage to this particular website, that you do have that option of being able to donate money, and you know they're going to get every penny.
Yeah, that's a great website that we put together here on J6 Vigils. A lot of good patriots working behind the scenes. And then there is the support that we can give to the people at Freedom Corner. That's Mickey and Nicole, and Tammy's currently there right now.
Yep.
And Tommy. They are a core group of patriots there that are putting a lot of pressure on a lot of the right spots. So I would hope that we'd want to support forashley.com.
Yeah.
That goes to the expenses of running Freedom Corner. There's going to be that party. We need speakers. We need a generator. I mean, we've had in the past. This is things that they've used the money for, and pretty much none of that goes to the prisoners. So a lot of people try to misconstrue. Oh, you're taking money from the prisoners. No, when you donate money to forashley.com, that's going to Nicole and Mickey and Tammy for the running expenses of Freedom Corner. When you donate to any one of the YouTubers that are there, there's many YouTubers there now. It was down to 1 or 2, and now there was 7 or 8 there when I was there yesterday. When you donate money to them, that goes to their accounts. That's for their expenses. So there's a lot of naysayers out there that are trying to cause division by clouding that issue up. I also wanted to mention Robert Morse's new website, which is www.aka the Lego Man with 2 G's. I got on that right when it came out. He released it July 14th, and that is another easy to navigate website that has a lot of information that similar to what Jeremy was talking about, what Jeremy Brown was talking about with piecing together what actually went on. No, I did not visit with anybody, Ava. No. I never have. And it's a scenario where I don't think I would function very well, to tell you the truth. I'm very hard at hearing. When they put the men on the visitation, it's a big room with horrible acoustics, and you got to sit 6 feet away from each other. And I feel like I am not going to be able to hear a word that's being said in there, and it might turn into a horrible experience. So I have not personally done a visit yet. Instead, me and a couple other patriots went out to the courthouse and stood on the corner there, waved flags, and got on the megaphone and had held up J6er signs, talked to people that were passing by, trying to raise awareness on the injustice that's occurring in that courtroom in DC. Because the jail is where they're keeping the guys, and then two miles up the road is the court where all this is happening in, and it's all happening in DC court. And with the exception of Jeremy Brown, that's the only case that I know that a state was involved with that. But horrible injustices are going on in the DC court right now. Roy, how many Pennsylvanians have been arrested in J6 so far? Isn't there like a number, 70?
I don't know the number, but it's the second highest after Texas. Your battery's dying.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Okay. Texas and Pennsylvania got the highest numbers.
it's shifting to low power mode.
So where was our attorney generals? Where was our state attorney general protecting?
Well, it was Josh Shapiro. That's the answer to that one, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was Texas's attorney general?
Yeah, they have Ken Paxton, but I guess they probably can't stop the feds from arresting people.
There's
Don't know how
50
that works.
states
Yeah.
with attorney generals that
Oh,
are
yeah.
supposed to
Right.
guarantee our constitutional rights, in addition to the Supreme Court. And every one of them attorney generals has failed to stand up against the.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're all zoomed in here.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll take a charge.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm standing out here because Steve had to plug in his phone,
All right.
just
I
so you
had
guys
it-
can.
I
look
had
at
it all
somebody.
zoomed in on the bridge while I was talking.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you guys were so close. Oh, I got to just see your face. Yeah, I get it.
Was
That
it? It was all zoomed in on my face.
Well, no, it was a little bigger than that.
Oh man, Roy, you gotta like tell me when that's.
I
going
didn't
on.
realize what was happening. I thought you were standing too close. I didn't know you could zoom in on a Zoom. I guess, or on a stream. I guess you can though.
Yeah, because I had the sunset was going down.
Oh, yeah, it
there
was
on the
lovely.
bridge. You see the flags up on the bridge there?
it's so cool.
This is such a beautiful spot. I saw 100 flags coming in there, man. It was so nice.
Yeah,
So nice.
yeah, it's a great spot.
This is a secret spot that Roy found for us.
Yeah.
It sure is nice. So I'd like to put a challenge out. If anybody's got a cool spot they'd like to see us do the J6 Vigil in. I like traveling around and seeing new places, and I think we're going to stay in the Pennsylvania area. Definitely planning on going out to Laredo and trying to get in touch with some patriots out there. Oh, look at that. Now, is that dreamy? Don't you wish you were there?
It's all lowercase McCoy, Tina.
No audio.
Yeah, they don't need to see one of us out there now. The scenery's beautiful enough.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom in on those people in the boat, make them famous.
Because I sort of feel like
Okay. All right. So we do have audio. So that was
We lost audio?
no, somebody did. Denise,
Okay.
hit your mute button or something. Denise, or turn your volume up on
he's
your.
still there.
Can you zoom in anymore? I'm curious.
You try it. Play around
Ooh,
with it
we
a
can-
little
Live
bit.
at
Oh,
Allenwood, and they're,
cool.
you know where you know Lewisburg now.
Oh, we have to move it.
And
Yeah,
we
practice,
haven't
you
been able
know.
to do. Well, we
Get
weren't
savvy
able- haven't
on
been able
this.
to
Just thought you guys might like to enjoy the view. Well, we're waiting for another call. I want to see how. That's as far as we
I
can
think
zoom
that's
in.
max.
Yeah. I hope those people are having a good time. I hope they're thinking of the J6ers.
I
You
would
know,
bet money they're having a good time.
I bet the money they
And
are.
I bet money they're not thinking of J6s.
I bet they heard our stream though, because it's got to be quiet out there on the river. I bet you they heard everything that Jeremy Brown said. So maybe it'll give them some good food for thought.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully they're conservative patriots. The majority of people around here are.
And we're going to surprise him.
Oh, you guys can't see that very clearly, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's two people fishing. I'll zoom back out.
This thing here. And could
Oh,
you
wait, going the
explain?
wrong
It's
way.
just like some guy in a tank, and it looks like he's in the desert.
Oh, that's Max. Okay. Well, you
I
mess
know
with
he
it.
will. You know what? It'll be cool. But and then we want to
Well,
try
you know all
to
these-
go in and see
I know how to
Yeah,
do
you
that,
gotta
but I
do
don't know
that.
how to do
I raised it up a little from
Yeah,
where
that's
you
fine.
had it.
It's
I don't know
probably
if that's
better.
bad,
I've
good or
asked the
bad.
guys to send
Probably
me
better.
forums
Yeah. It's
but
eye
I can go
level
on the
now.
losing list.
Yeah, it was easier to read.
Not getting them.
Spare my back.
There's really a big ledge. Look, it's still got you out there standing. Not that it matters. Wonder why. Wonder why it's like minutes later.
Yeah.
All right, it wasn't like Zoom.
No, no, it
Okay,
was all
cool.
right. It was all right. Just showed your nails.
Yeah, if I ever got like something on my beard, you know, let me know about
I
it.
will, yeah. And vice
If I
versa.
could, if I could in
Hey, one night
Grant,
Nikki saved me on Freedom
because
Corner.
I don't,
Comes
I
up and she
thought he
like
was
gets
from
between me
Western
and the
PA,
camera.
but he was arrested in North Carolina.
Oh no, that's
But
terrible.
I thought he told me one of the first times we talked to him, he was
Live
he was
TV.
from PA.
So you were saying that you can only visit on Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In
They
DC.
had
I
family
didn't
down
know
there,
that.
That's
I was hoping to visit
visitation
somebody
day.
next week, but I won't be there on Friday, so I won't be able to.
So you got to get in touch with Dwight. He's the guy that's got that operation going.
Have
Oh.
to get me the
Do you have
information
his
about
number?
the.
I know who he is.
Do
I've met
not
him.
have Dwight's
I'll ask Tammy for him.
I said, I need to know.
Sorry,
where I
guys,
can
we're just
go look
chattering
for
here.
this, because I know it's out there. I said, I need to know if it's not protected. He said, oh, you're on
Steve gets around.
this, look up this. Thank you, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was
So then
last
after,
night.
after the
Oh,
policy.
no, Denise, no gators
was
here.
passed through
We're too
committee,
far north.
I'm on his email.
We did 4 hours. I did 4 hours of live streaming
And
yesterday.
so I texted him, or I emailed him. I said, guess what? I said, you were indirectly responsible.
And Patriot Steve, Screaming Steve, man, he
It
was
awesome. Yeah,
So
it
where
was
were you
awesome.
guys at?
he was having a
You and
Oh, I
Steve,
know
you and
they do.
Screaming Steve.
we
where
went to
were you
the
guys
to the courthouse
Oh, cool.
and
Something
had
that
bullhorns.
he-
But Steve, man, he
something
showed
with his
up and he
attorney
was
or
like
something that-
just
different
so
things
animate
that
about
putting
the
on.
morality in this country is
Then
just
it's
down the
not like he doesn't have
tubes.
the money.
No, that is true.
And he's got a bunch of lines that he doesn't usually cross, and cussing is one of them.
And that's good. That's good for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was crossing that line a lot. So me and Jerry
Yes,
were
you
kind of
too.
going, hey man. He's like,
And,
no, this needs to be
Come
done.
back anytime.
And a couple of times he literally took a knee and was weeping and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Sorry to interrupt you. I got to run up the road. You have my contact info, but I'll give you that anyway. It's got my email on it and stuff like that.
Excellent, Tom.
All right.
God bless you, Tom. Have
Good
a
to
great
see you guys.
visit.
We hope
Yeah.
to visit you guys one day soon too.
That was
Yes.
great you showed up tonight. That was
I'm glad
wonderful.
I could.
Yeah.
Yes, we
Keep
are.
up the good
That's been
work.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks for the newspaper.
God bless America.
Yes,
God bless
I
you.
got
God bless
more of them. You
America.
want me to leave them at your van? Is it unlocked or anything?
The
I'll
paper?
Just, yeah, I got more of them if you want some.
I'll bring them up to Freedom Corner. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have mine.
I'll just put them next to your door on the.
Yeah, because it's locked.
They'll be fine.
Or the windows are down a little. You can slip them into the
Okay.
windows.
I just want to mention to everybody, I was able to visit Howard Richardson in Eastern Pennsylvania yesterday. You guys may or may not be familiar with his situation. I've talked about him before, but okay, we got a call coming in, so I'll
Got a call.
continue that.
You want to flip it around?
Yep.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from
Oh wait, that's this.
Oh, it's
right?
Brian.
No.
an inmate at the Washington, D.C.
There we go.
Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0.
We're not hearing it, Tina.
Your current
Oh wait.
This is $23.13. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello, Tina.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
How are you?
That's me, Brian. We're doing good. I got Daniel Rodriguez with me too.
Oh, good.
Hi, Tina.
good.
How are you?
Hey, Daniel. How are you?
Hey guys, this is great.
I'm good. Good to hear your voice. How you been out there? How's everybody?
We're good. Roy's here and Jerko Steve is here, and we're at another
hello.
undisclosed location in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So
Good. All right.
Yes.
Where y'all at now?
I'm
Y'all
sorry.
keep moving around or what?
Yeah,
Y'all keep moving spots or what?
we're moving around.
This
Yeah,
is-
we're just
Undisclosed location number 2.
yes. We've
Oh, okay,
kind
okay.
of gotten some little static from the last place we were at, so we're trying to find 2 or 3
Oh, yeah.
that we can move around to.
Well, there's no screeching
Okay.
whistle girls here or bullhorns with sirens out
Yeah.
there. Nice and quiet.
Hey, have y'all been getting some calls in or what?
Yes, we have.
Have y'all been staying busy?
We had, the first call that was supposed to come in at 7, that one didn't come in, but we had Jeremy Brown called us, and then he was able to call us back because we had some open time. So we had a good conversation with him, and so then we're just waiting for you guys to call in too.
Fantastic.
Well, I think Daniel Rodriguez has something he wants to say real quick.
I'm,
so.
Well,
I'm,
yeah, I
I'm
kinda-
sure he does.
You know he does. He's full of it.
No, I just haven't talked to you. I haven't talked to you guys for a while,
I
and
know.
I was wondering, have you guys went and seen the movie The Sound of Freedom?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Did
Yes.
you hear that Trump hosted a screening of it?
Yes, he did.
I did not know that.
Yes, he
Okay.
did.
Yeah, I guess that in New Jersey at his golf course, he hosted a screening of it, and we got great news from that. He's gonna call for the death penalty for these human traffickers, these scum. So that's wonderful. That's amazing news, and congratulations to whoever made that movie, who was a part of
Yes,
that.
he's,
That's wonderful news.
Yeah, the producer is a Mexican. I mean, he came from Mexico. He's a U.S. citizen now, and Jim Caviezel played Tim Ballard. And it's just a fantastic movie.
That's great news. I mean, it's about time that it's hitting the mainstream, because you don't hear about this kind of thing on your local news channel or the legacy mainstream media. So yeah, Trump is going to wage a war. He's promising to declare a war on these cartels, just like he did ISIS. And of course, ISIS is gone. We don't hear anything about them anymore. And you know, it's a shame. It is so disgusting. The left is calling it QAnon right-wing conspiracy theories. You know, they can't even defend human life.
I know.
They can't even recognize that this stuff really exists, and that is disgusting.
And what the sad
so
part,
yeah,
the sad part is, DJ, is that the United States is the number one consumer of sex trafficked kids.
That's awful. You know, whatever they're doing, if it's organ harvesting or the satanic worship, or they're doing you know, sex slaves, or whatever they're doing, you know, it is such an awful thing that normal-minded people like you and I never think about these things. We don't put our mind in that place.
No.
And it's an awful thing to think about, and you don't want to, but...
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
almost hard to
it-
even.
it-
Yeah, it's hard to even wrap your mind around it. It's just so out there and so against everything that
Yeah,
you're taught to believe, and you know, it just is almost undescribable.
And I know Scooter pretty well now, and I know that I'm speaking for him as well, that it eats you to your soul. It tears you up to think about these people doing these sort of things, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are aware, but you know, Lewisburg sits on 15. You know, 15 goes north and south in Pennsylvania, and 15 is the main child trafficking route between Maryland and New York.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
We had no idea where we were when we were in Lewisburg, actually. We knew we were in the mountains.
Yeah.
And it snows a lot, and it's never warm there. That's one of the two things we know about Lewisburg.
Come on, it's warm here.
It is
Oh,
now.
frozen
It's
to
gonna
death.
be 93 all week. Come on.
Oh, no kidding. Well, you know, I'm from Houston, Texas, so it's 110 there right now.
I know, so
that's
I
my
know
kind of weather.
You'd still be wearing a winter jacket up here. I know.
I know, you wear a jacket year round. When does it ever stop?
I love the weather in Lewisburg. I was not used to any of that snow, and you know, the seasons change, and like I've said before, it's a great conservative area in that central Pennsylvania part, and you could just tell by the you guys that supported us, and even the guards that live in the area and work there. They're just good people. That's a good part of the country.
I think they made like a 6-foot tall snowman out there on the wreck.
I think she knows. She heard.
It's been there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll make one for you
Yeah,
guys
Weighed
next
about
winter.
400 pounds.
Yeah, that was my workout for the day. I remember I was exhausted.
And I had a snow angel. Yeah, there's a snow angel in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay.
What about this Dr. Cornell West? Did you hear about this? That he's going to run a third-party Green Party, and of course you know that he's black, and Joe Biden says, "Hey, you ain't voting for me. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black." So now he's got an actual black person to go against. So Joey, if you ain't racist, you're gonna drop out and let Cornell West take the helm here.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. That's an interesting scenario.
Yeah, Joey's dead and gone, just like he predicted in '91. He's dead and gone.
Yep.
So that's good.
So, I'm starting to
I
gear
read about that.
up for my next campaign.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Everything. Tell us about that.
Well, I won my primary race. I beat my opponent by 18 votes, and
Wow, awesome.
he actually we had a member of the school board resign. He was moving out of the area in June, and my opponent was appointed to fill his seat until December. So now the Republican committee, which I'm a part of, well, you know, we're trying to change our local Republican committee. I'll put it that way. We have to choose somebody to run on the ballot in November. But that doesn't jeopardize my position. That gives us 2 seats that are available. And so the seat I was running for, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. There are 4 other people running on the 2 other districts or regions, and all 4 of them are anticipating winning. So we're going to have at least 5 people on the board in November who are conservative.
All right.
We had 2 policies that were passed this summer. Well, one was passed, one is going to pass in August. One has to do with no teaching of CRT in our school district, and the other is the policy gives them the latitude to remove any obscene or pornographic material out of the libraries, and also off the reading lists of required reading in any courses that the kids have.
Excellent. That's great. I feel good about your chances of winning and making a difference there, and preserving, you know, the future of our children, you know.
CRT and pornography at school, for sure.
It's
That's fantastic.
It's all about the kids and the grandkids and great grandkids and
absolutely.
yeah, I have a grandson
who
who graduated this year. He's going in the Air Force in September. So
that's great.
Yeah, I'm so proud of him. He's awesome. And
yeah, congratulations. The Air Force is one of the is it I've been told it's the hardest branch to get in.
Yeah, you just gotta have some brains.
You gotta have some brains, yeah.
That's probably true.
yeah,
Probably true.
my
You gotta be kind of smart.
my daughter's a vet. She was in the Air Force too. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
Got the Air Force family going on here.
Yes,
That's
we
what
do.
got.
That's great.
But
Like Ashley Babbitt, 14-year-old veteran, Air Force veteran. Yeah.
yeah.
Rest
So-
in peace, Ashley.
But yeah, he's gonna go in, train as a mechanic, work on F-15s and F-16s.
That's
Big money. That's gonna be big money.
Yeah,
when you get that.
he's so excited.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, he's so excited. He really is. So, but yeah, I'm really doing it for him, even though he's not going to be there anymore. A lot of kids coming in behind him that somebody needs to be fighting for them, and so that's kind of what I'm doing.
And when is he going to start in the Air Force?
He leaves the 19th of September.
Okay. Tell him
Begins.
Tell him not to get too comfortable with Joey being his commander-in-chief now, okay?
We're gonna get rid of the boss as soon as possible.
Yeah, he already
Joey-
knows. He already knows there's no commander in the White House.
Yeah, Joey, you ain't getting your 4 more years.
President, Chief.
Yeah, you.
That's right.
And I got a message for him too. You don't be packing up any of those classified documents, Jack.
No, he doesn't have a Corvette to guard them, so I don't think we have to worry about it.
Right. Yeah. Have you heard from James Grant?
Yes, I have. I'm on his email. He's doing pretty good. He misses you guys horribly. I did pass your message on the last time. Yeah, he's by himself. He really misses you guys. He had a situation.
That's weird. He got stuck by himself.
Yeah, he had a situation where they wanted to put somebody in the cell with some kind of significant medical issues, and he didn't want to have to be responsible. So his attorney told him to write a letter, and he did, and he got thrown in the hole. And
Oh no.
yeah, he got thrown in the hole for, I guess, refusing an order.
Yeah.
And while he was gone, well, they refused to give him his Bible, and when he came back in his cell, all of his stuff was gone, and he hasn't gotten any of it back.
No.
Yeah, everything was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Somebody stole him.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Did they steal from him, or did the guards pack his stuff up?
He doesn't
know.
He doesn't know. He just knows that when he got back, and he wasn't gone very long. He said it was not even 24 hours, and he came back in his cell, and everything was gone. And then several days later, the guy that he didn't want to be put in the cell was put in the cell anyway.
Oh man.
I would refuse too. Ain't no way I'd be responsible for that. We know who's responsible. That dude has seizures like every 20, 30 minutes he has a seizure. I mean, why put that burden on somebody else, especially another inmate, you know what I mean? Why in a medical facility.
Why isn't that guy in medical?
In a medical unit or something.
Yeah, I mean they've got 24/7 medical units on facilities. I know. I worked in two.
They do.
I've worked in two different prison facilities. They have medical in both.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, if you when you message him, will you message him our regards, Scooter and DJ, and we miss them, and we'll see him again soon, and you let him know that he'll know what this means. Tell him that we had a horse race today, and it just wasn't the same without him announcing.
All right, I will tell him.
All right.
Also, you've seen Tammy all over the news too, haven't you?
I'll tell you
She became a little celebrity this week.
I didn't hear anything this week. What happened?
I guess apparently she was at one.
You have 1 minute remaining.
She was in Congress and made some kind of facial expression. And they put dead on it. So all these news media have talked about it. And also somebody put her on TikTok. So she got real big on TikTok. It was facial expression. Yeah.
She might have been behind that Joe Ziegler.
Yeah. The weaponization of the IRS, I think.
Yeah, the IRS, the whistleblower X, the gay Democrat that's blowing the whistle on Joe Biden, and all the corruption and bribery. And I believe it was. It's gonna hang up on us. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call you guys back right now.
Okay, we love you guys. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Yep.
Okay, we'll talk to you in a couple minutes. Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
I guess I better hang up so they can call back.
Still going.
We just got to do we're great.
I hope it's all right.
Oh, well, that was cool. Both of them were on.
Yeah, that was wonderful. That's the first time I had that experience.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, I think maybe the week that you weren't here, Roy, we had a double call. Remember, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
We had a double call. It came from out west. There were two guys on. I forget who that was, but there were two guys on that time too.
Yeah,
that was
right.
the first time we'd ever had that I could remember.
Yeah.
I want to ask DJ if he's gotten my letter. I've had to send it now 3 times. It's come
Yes,
back.
they do, Lisa. Yes.
There has been a lot of people saying they're having that same problem. I talked to 2 other people at Freedom
Yep.
Corner that said the same thing is happening to them. So they're messing with the phones, they're messing with the letters.
Messing with the mail.
It's not a news flash. This is what tyrants do.
Well, that's illegal. Oh shoot, they do everything illegal.
That was Matthew Kroll with John Mellis.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Michigan.
Yes.
Oh, you guys keep a good log, don't you? That's great.
Yeah, I wrote
Just,
Matt a really nice letter.
Just who called, you know.
Yeah.
I write it down every time.
Yeah.
So DJ and Brian have been calling like every night at Freedom Corner too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
good.
they are holding down the phone calls thing
Good for them.
with all the guys in DC.
Yeah. Good.
There's a lot of guys I've never heard from. There's a kid named Israel. That's Easter Day.
I've seen his
Did you
name.
see? I feel
Yeah.
horrible about this kid's case, man.
Oh, is
He's
he,
only like 22,
is
23.
he incarcerated again? Or is he?
What do you mean
he,
again?
still-
He's still.
no, he was released to home for a while.
Or like,
He was in
on
Northern
house
Neck, but
arrest?
then he got. Yeah, I forget. I heard of Mel Hawley did a podcast with him, but that's been a
but
while
I-
back.
See, he's in DC right now.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
When-
he's back in.
When did he get put back there?
It was a month and a half, 2 months ago, I believe.
Gosh, it's good to talk to DJ. Haven't talked to
Yes,
him.
I didn't know that
In a long
either,
time.
Ava. Didn't
So
know he
if I
was
see
back.
bugs
Yeah,
on me,
these guys say he's in DC.
just know I got a purpose.
Talking
to
about
that.
Israel, of
Okay.
course.
You got a purpose to that? Well, I'm gonna give it some more purpose.
Oh, you
here.
got some bug dope. Yeah, let me have some of that. Chewed up.
Yeah, these lightning bugs are wonderful. You can see them rising from the grass. You could a little bit ago anyway. Just beautiful.
Is this yours or is this?
Who was in the box?
We're waiting for him to call back now with the national
Yeah.
anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava, you check that. That would be great. I had not heard that myself, but I'm often out of the loop because I don't have internet at home.
Are they having any problem hearing the calls?
Haven't said that.
Okay.
Well, we thought my phone was going to crash there because it wasn't charging.
Oh yeah.
So far so good. God's got it under control.
Yes, he does.
He wants this one getting out.
Yes, he does. Oh.
Hey guys, as soon as it closes
Another
at
light.
dusk, so as soon as we go off the stream, we need to pack up
Yes.
and
Yeah.
get out. We can,
Maybe we should start even packing up
Yeah.
now a little bit if we can.
yeah, if we can. I mean, we can always talk out in the parking lot, but
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
park
yeah.
itself
Yep.
closes at dusk.
Did you? Oh no, that's right.
What,
I guess I really can't drive the van up here, right?
I
I don't see
would.
why not. We're just loading it up.
Yeah.
Just come down from the stop sign, park it right here. We'll load up.
Yeah, I'm going to drive my car down and
Oh,
load up.
okay.
Because the quicker we get out of here, the better.
Yeah.
There's no ranger, but their town cop might ask what we're doing.
So I guess what DJ and Brian are going to be calling out for the anthem.
That's what, I heard him say that. He
Yeah,
called
I
for that.
heard DJ say, "Oh, I forgot we're calling back out." Oh.
Is everything in this box for this microphone? And did you want me to take that this week?
That was all the associated microphone stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
This
and the box.
needs to go.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
I'll take that. Unless you still need that.
I
Yeah,
think
hang
I'm
on.
going to be. I think I'm good.
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
just hold the phone here.
And this goes in here, right? This.
Yes.
One thing, we got lights coming on here. We didn't have that at the other.
I know.
That's
That's
helpful.
nice. Yeah, I got 2 letters back. One was DJ's, and I sent that. I've sent it back now 3 times. Or here we go.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from. An inmate at the Washington, D.C. Central Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press. Your current balance is $21.53. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yeah, good idea, Steve.
Hey, DJ.
It's just James. Hey, Tino, I'm back.
Yes?
We got 2 minutes to count down.
Yes.
2 minutes till the national anthem.
Okay.
I do have. I have.
We have a couple questions.
Okay.
One, somebody on the chat wants to confirm that Easter Day is there.
Easter Day.
Is Israel Easter Day there?
Not in our pod, no.
Okay.
He may be in the jail. I'm unfamiliar with that person, but if they did just arrive, they would be in booking or the processing unit, and it could take like a week to get to us.
Okay. Okay.
Hang on, Jake. Hey, I had two cellies in Lewisburg, Mason Corson and my other cellie. We got to know each other very well. Jacob Lang, you want to say hi to them?
Sure.
Hey guys, hello, how's it going? Jake Lang.
Hey,
God bless you guys.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. The Lord's poured out His Spirit on us. We had a great Bible study today. The pastor came in, which was really uplifting, and we're just staying strong in here. We hold each other up.
We're praying about that case that's going before the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, that's going to be huge. I've been doing a lot of work on that for a while, and I'm excited to see if the Supreme Court takes it and they side with us. It's going to be, monumental. So we can now we've done our we've done our side of the.
Yeah, we're praying that goes through. That God gives you guys favor and gives your lawyer favor and gives you strategies to argue what you need to argue to turn the hearts of those who hear it.
Yes, amen. Yeah, we've done all of our work now. Now it's up, we put it in God's hands, and we'll stay faithful. And
Absolutely.
I'm sure He's going to make a miracle happen, God willing.
Amen.
Absolutely. So, listen, can you ask DJ if he's gotten a letter from me in the past maybe week and a half or so?
I think I did. You know what? I did get a letter from you. We are ready for the national anthem.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. Where is he at? Where is Jeff Staple? Is he on the phone? No, he's not. Sorry, there is a strange technical difficulty here. We are supposed to be doing the national anthem, but we're going to try to do it with the visual out here. Sorry, I'm running around right now. I don't know if I'm cutting out.
No, you're good.
Where is Jeff?
You're good.
Oh, okay. He's over here. Sorry, Tina. Jeff Sable is calling in to the DC Vigil right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it with
Yeah,
that.
we'll do it with them. We can hang on a minute. So you did get the letter?
So 30. He's saying 30. Here, Jeff, you want to?
30 seconds.
Okay, good enough.
I've been trying for 5-6 minutes to call out to the vigil out here outside.
Okay.
It wouldn't let me on the tablet. Now I'm calling through, and right now it's ringing. It's just please hold, which doesn't mean we're through yet. So it's been a holding pattern.
We'll
Hopefully
hang
about 20 seconds from the end. So
we'll
hold
hang on.
Yeah.
Yep.
One way or another.
So DJ.
One way or another, we're going to sing right now.
DJ,
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
You got the letter?
I did get the letter.
Okay,
Sorry.
I had to send that 3 times.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah, I hear
Well, that's not
that
your fault.
people are getting in return. Are they answering? All right.
Are we ready to sing?
Want to just start singing? Yeah, I think we're going to start singing right now.
Okay, awesome. All right. Here we go.
All right, stand by. I'm going to take the earpiece out, and then I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. In just a minute. Hang on.
3, 2, 1. Oh, sing and you sing. My daughter Levi was so proud and we hailed as the wise last evening whose most bright and bright star through the perilous night. For the
So you guys got the exclusive national anthem tonight. We were not able to get through on the phone line, so I just wanted to. Did you guys have any questions? You said you had some questions from online.
Do we have any questions for them online
Let
for
me check.
Washington?
I don't think so. Once we got the Israel Easter Day questions.
Yeah,
straightened
they
out.
were asking about Israel Easter Day, and I was asking about your letter.
Are they having phone problems with DC now?
Yeah, sorry you had to send a letter so many times. There was somebody.
DJ, that's not your fault. Not your fault.
Yeah, there was somebody else who told me that they had to. I got 3 letters at once, and they what they did was they kept returning them, and then she kept writing another letter in addition.
I sent.
All right.
And I one letter I sent to Robert got turned back too, and I'm just holding it till he gets to Loretto because I think he's moving next week now.
I hear that Robert Morse is in Philadelphia. Is that correct?
He's in Philly right now with Kelly, but he's supposedly moving. Yeah, he's moving to Loretto next week, we think.
Now, when you say Kelly, you mean Cash Kelly or Kelly Meigs?
Kelly Meigs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
They're Sully's right now.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because Kelly Meigs, I thought was going to Florida, back to Florida.
No, maybe, but they haven't sent him down there yet, I guess. Yeah, Robert was supposed to move last week or the week before, but he's still there, so we're not sure what's going on. But he thinks now he'll move next week.
Okay.
So,
all right. So, was there? I have. Did you want to say anything? I have. There's a couple of people here in the studio with me here. Go ahead and did you want to say thank you to the people out at Lewisburg, or you want to mention?
We got Ariel Law here. He's Ariel Law. How you guys doing?
we're doing well. Who is this?
This is Zach Allum.
Oh, hi, Zach. How are you?
I'm good. I only have been on the Lewisburg Vigil one time.
Yeah.
We remember that.
And that
Yeah,
was
we
like,
do.
okay.
Yeah, that was right before you guys went back to DC.
Did you have a message?
I don't really have a message. I just hopped on right now, but I got a question though.
Sure, go ahead.
What J6s are still over there?
It's just James Grant.
Just James Grant, that's it.
Okay. All right. Are you guys gonna still do the vigil, even if he's gone?
Yes.
Oh yes, yeah, we're here for the long haul.
Okay.
You're there for all the prisoners.
Thank you, Tammy. You guys are awesome. Thank you,
We're gonna
Roy.
hang out till you guys are all done.
Hey guys, Lisa.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah. Lisa from the chat said, "Tell them they have no idea how much we love them and are praying for them." And it's sure it's not just.
Oh, thank you, Lisa.
Yep, that's everybody.
Thank you, Lisa. You guys get us through these hard times. They're really not as hard as they can be because of all your prayers and all your kind words, your letters, the messaging, through the tablet and everything. It goes a long way, and especially how you guys keep showing up for us. I don't know what I did to deserve all this, but I thank you all and love you all for everything that you do for us, and you keep us safe in here. You're literally keeping us safe in here. The government can't just get rid of us.
You're a son of God, DJ. That's why you deserve it.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. How's your mother?
Jake Lang, did you want to say something? Yeah, I do. I wanted to say Yolanda is amazing. I love. She asked how her mother is. Yolanda's doing great. Yolanda and I are good friends now. Me and DJ's mom are good friends. She's an awesome Patriot supporter, and she's good. I have to answer the question. Thank you, Jake. Yes, no, we've got great people behind us, including you guys, and we're just so grateful to God. Just to be growing our family. The American family of patriots and Christians that has kind of surrounded us. And, we have a foundation now. We have cause to fight. We have the J6 home, free the political prisoners. And
it's just been really profound to see the response of everyday Americans. Our help has not come from Washington, D.C. It hasn't come from, you know, the big business leaders and, you know, rich patriots or anything like that, all these, you know, grandstanders and charlatans. It's come from the heartland of America with people like you guys. And I think that's what makes our movement so special and so unique, is that it's real grassroots, and it's humble, it's wholesome, and it's the American way.
Amen. That was perfectly well said.
You know, you
I want to
guys,
give
you
a special
guys,
thanks.
you guys deserve it. It's our privilege and our honor to stand out here and make it possible for you guys to have a voice and to just connect with the outside world. And I think that's really important, and we're going to continue to do that for you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I do want to give a thanks to some of these people in government, you know, besides Comer and Jim Jordan and Matt Gates and, you know, Marjorie Taylor Greene just got hit with an ethics complaint from Hunter Biden's lawyer. And apparently there's an ethics complaint from Hunter Biden, ethics of all things, you know. The crackhead with his prostitute was shown in court.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you have a problem with that, Hunter, you shouldn't have abandoned your laptop.
That's
you know,
right.
they're bringing up, yeah, and she's just trying to bring up a $10,000 deduction back in 2018, and it was supposed to be for a golf club, but it was for quote unquote sex club. So prostitutes are a business expense,
Yes.
and of course Joey stands by his son, and they want to talk ethics. So, you know, also thank you to the whistleblower out there, Joe Ziegler, the Democrat who is openly gay and not a Trump supporter. He's not a Republican. He is an IRS whistleblower, the Whistleblower X. So thank you for doing your duty as an American, your patriotic duty.
Amen.
So many people are not willing to sacrifice. You know, and I think that's just great that there are people coming out, and I know the FBI is listening right now. And what are you doing? What are you doing to save this country? Does your patriotism just stop with words, or are you going to act? Because we know that there's a lot of stuff going on, and that it's time to end the corruption and the abuses by this government.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Anyways, it's going to cut off in a minute. Thank you guys for all your support. We love you. Thanks for the questions. Go ahead.
DJ, we have another one.
It says, do any of you guys need
Okay.
items from Secure Pack?
Zach alum may need some things. I know Zach doesn't get any support from his family or anybody.
Yeah, did you guys hear that, Zach?
Yeah, we'll pass that
Yeah.
on. That question came from the chat.
We're his family. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're his family now. Zach has he comes from a Democrat leftist family, and they do not support him or visit him or write
that
him.
question came from the chat. We passed it back to them. So maybe there's somebody out there that's God's put it on their heart to help.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can reach out to Zach, thank you guys. He is a supporter. He is a Trump supporter, and he's not outspoken, but he is with us and he is on our side.
Yep.
So anybody out there, just reach out to Zach Alam if you can. We love and care about him.
Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Well, listen, we love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. I lost my file.
Yep, they're done.
Yep, I was hoping I hadn't. I did. All right.
Hey, it was great to be
There
with
you
you all
have it.
tonight. It was a
Yes.
great stream. God bless you all out there. Thank you for supporting us and for the questions and everything.
Yes, thanks for the questions. They were good.
That was good.
What a great, it's even a beautiful view at night.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Hey,
Yeah, look
let's-
at the light.
let's
Look
show
at the
'em the
light
boats out
reflected
on
in
the
the
river.
water. Show them. Can you get a picture of that?
Moon's up there.
The,
Where is
the
it?
light off the
Here,
bridge.
you move it. I can't, I get lost in how to figure it out. Oh, yeah, you can
Yeah,
just pick it up and move
show
it.
them the light off the bridge reflected in the water. That'll be our closing shot. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the moon.
Moon is up
There's-
behind
there's
the
the
tree.
moon.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah. Thanks for all being here with us, Lisa and Ava and Deb, Jean. Thought we were gonna have problems. Looked like the phone was gonna die.
Secure Pack, somebody just asked what that is in the chat. It's they call it an Access Secure Pack, I think. You can send them like a care package every once in a while. Doesn't come
But
from
tell
you,
me-
you order it. But,
Roy,
yeah.
tell them about Direct J6. They can send it to him through there.
Well, that's,
Can they?
they can send money. I don't think they can send goods.
Oh, I see. It's different. Okay,
Yeah, but
I got
yeah,
it.
you guys are familiar with the Direct to J6,
Yeah,
and we'll talk about that again next week. Check that out. What a good view. Yeah, we got to clear this park soon because we're supposed to be out here by dusk, and it's past that. But they're pretty cool around here.
All right, good night, Patriots. Thanks for joining in.
Good night, Dad. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Jane. Maybe see you later at Turbo's. God bless you all. We love you. Thanks for being here.
So you guys are gonna go get your truck and car, right?
Somebody had some questions there.
Okay.
I think someone's in chat, so I was answering them.
Yeah, because once you hit the X, it cuts it, kills it. All right, I'm gonna go get my car.
All right. Yeah, go to Direct to J6. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's and you're right. That's for commissary.
They'll walk you through it.
Yep. So I'll have to email James tonight or tomorrow and let him know that
They missed him for horse racing.
they missed him. They missed his. He's the caller.
He'll know what that means, I guess.
Yes.
I hope it's something good.
Funny. Oh my God. Oh, I don't know what that means. Well, he misses them playing soccer. He'd never really played soccer before till they put a team together inside the prison. They were playing each other, and he actually enjoyed it. He said he misses it. I'm going to put your notebook in the blue
Yeah.
box.
I'll get everything in that crate.
Yep. Yep, I already put it in the box.